Welcome back to Cruise360. Please welcome your host, CLIA Vice President of Industry and Trade Relations, Charles Sylvia, ECC.
Hey, thank you, Jim. Woo. Hello, everybody. It's not Casual Friday. It's Small Ship Friday. And because it's Small Ship Friday, that means we dress comfortably, because that's how you dress on a small ship. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the final general session of our 2022 Cruise360. Haven't these been some amazing days? Huh? Have we enjoyed this? And the week is not over yet. We still have our enhanced virtual ship inspections on Saturday and exciting sightseeing excursions on Sunday and Monday. And coming up in this section, we have our brand new Small Ship Small Talk. Wait for it. Big commissions. Now, this session is a one-on-one conversation with small ship and river cruising leaders designed to help you take your business to a whole new level. But first, I'd like to introduce to you one of our important sponsor partners, Disney Cruise Line. To tell us more about Disney, please welcome the Business Development Manager with Disney Destinations, Josh Fernandez. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. How are you today? Wonderful, right? So thank you. It's an honor for me to be here. I'm Josh Fernandez, a Business Development Manager for Disney Destinations. I'm thrilled to be here with you today. Some of our travel partners and owners, agency owners this year on an incredible conference to share a little bit of what's happening in the world of Disney Cruise Line. Our ships have been welcoming guests back since last summer, and families have been making magical memories, vacations together on the high seas once again. Thank you for all your support and patience throughout the past year as we navigated and relaunched our business. As travel agents, you have been instrumental in our triumphant return and helping connect our guests back to the Disney magic they know and love. As we look forward to the future, this is an incredible and exciting year for Disney Cruise Line, with even more magic and adventure awaiting our guests aboard our expanding fleet. Starting in June, Disney Cruise Line will sail out of the Port of Miami, where guests will explore incredible destinations in the Caribbean and especially our private island of Castaway Cay. And on the West Coast, we've added additional sailing from San Diego this fall as we continue to find ways to increase our portfolio around the world. And that's not all. We're excited to share our newest addition to our fleet, the Disney Wish, later this summer. This ship has recently celebrated its float out from the shipyard in Germany, before it makes the cross-ocean trip to its home port of Port Canaveral. Take a look. So we cannot wait for our guests to experience the magic firsthand when the Disney Wish sets sail from its maiden voyage this summer, bringing the fantastical worlds of Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars like never before. Thank you again for your continuing support as we look forward to an incredible milestone for our business and for helping Disney Cruise Line to be the #1 experience cruise line for families. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you to Disney Cruise Line. Now, before we welcome our moderator for our panel, we would like to take a moment to recognize someone very special. At the close of business today, AMA Waterways Senior Vice President of Sales, Gary Murphy, will retire from his role after more than a decade with the brand. Throughout his entire career, Gary has been an unwavering champion for travel advisors. He played an instrumental role in building strong partnerships and mutual trust with the travel trade, as well as launching innovative support programs. Prior to AMA Waterways, Gary's travel industry experience spanned more than 30 years, working for Group Voyagers in Europe, Brendan Vacations, and as VP of Marketing and Sales for Miami Air International. Let's take a moment to hear from some industry leaders who want to share their sentiments with Gary.
You will always have your home here with AMA, away from your home. But I want to wish you all the best for your new life with your family, with your beautiful wife Daphne, and lots of great travel adventures, wonderful wine tastings, and looking forward to many more wonderful birthday and Christmas celebrations with you. Thanks for everything you have done. We love you, Gary.
I remember you when over at the Chatsworth building when you took over Jimmy's job and became the head of Brendan Tours. You were downstairs, we were upstairs, and yeah, it was an interesting time over there. We had some wonderful times together, and we really will miss you, but we are actually not going to miss you since you're going to be around at our board meetings. So Gary, it has been wonderful with you here, and we'll see you around. Let's see how long you can stay away from this office, okay? Thank you, Gary.
My favorite thing I will always remember about Gary Murphy is his creativity in presenting on the stage. He commanded the stage like no other, and you never knew exactly what he was going to say.
My favourite memory of Gary Murphy has to be the Gary Murphy Show. It was a late show style webinar he filmed for one of our consortia partners. He was brilliant. Gary is the new Letterman. In fact, are we sure Gary is retiring and not starting his TV career?
There's something really magical about your presence. You're grounded and you think really quickly, always on your feet, always forward, and always with a great sense of caring, compassion, and humanity.
My favorite thing about Gary is his love for family and tradition.
My favorite thing about Gary is he's always first to engage. When I first took my job at AAA in travel, I got flowers from Gary. He was always the first to do the right thing and help us come up with creative ways to drive engagement with our sales force and to reward performance.
My favorite Gary memory is probably from the first time we met. He was actually interviewing me for a job at Brendan Tours, and instead of asking me about my skills or my experience, what he really wanted to know was, could I lift a box of 40-pound brochures?
Hey, just want to congratulate you on a great career. Your honesty, your integrity, your friendship, made you a difference maker. You know how to get things done.
Congratulations, Gary, on the recognition of your contributions to the industry, and in particular to the river cruise industry. What I appreciate most about you is that you have continued the legacy that your father, Jimmy Murphy, handed off to you.
Hello to our most favorite person out there, Gary Murphy. It's your National Account girls, Jazzy, Lizzie, and Denise.
You'll be deeply missed, but we know you won't be too far.
And it's never goodbye. It's see you later.
I know.
Hi, Gary. You and I went to high school together. One of our PE classes was a surfing class. Believe it or not, that was true. You continue to be a great surfer. The only surfing I can do is on the flow rider. But I do want to wish you great families and great waves in the next chapter of your life. It's a very important part of the industry, and we thank you for all of your contributions. You will be missed. We will see you soon.
Gary's biggest contributions to the travel industry is the example that he has set for outstanding relationship management. His performance over decades is truly the gold standard for each of us to aspire to. I have never seen anything like it.
Gary, you have been such an incredible mentor, leader, boss, but most important, a friend. A friend not only to me, but to so many. But right now, I just want to wish you a very happy retirement, my good friend, Gary Murphy. Thank you.
We at CLIA wish Gary fair winds and following seas as he embarks on his retirement. So now, is anyone in the room ready to earn 4-digit commissions or 5-digit commissions? 5-digit commissions? No, did I hear you correctly? Are you ready? Wonderful. Well, we're now at the point where we're going to reveal our brand new panel. It's called Small Ship, Small Talk. Wait for it. Big commissions. Trust me, it's there we go. Big commissions. How do we feel about big commissions? Come on. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, here to moderate is an esteemed travel industry leader and a very good friend of mine. Please welcome to the Cruise360 stage the Chief Executive Officer of Ensemble Travel Group, David Harris.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need fun. That's what I want.
I have to say I'm impressed. It's Friday afternoon. It's been a long week, and this place is just about full. So thank you to all of you. Good afternoon. It sure is great to be here at Cruise360. I was really excited when Charlie asked me to moderate this panel on small ships. As the CEO of Ensemble Travel Group, I know firsthand how important this market is and how fast it's growing. It was already growing significantly before the pandemic, but the desire for smaller, more intimate experiences really accelerated over the past 2 years. As a traveler, I've traveled regularly on both river and small ocean vessels and have thoroughly enjoyed the experience tremendously. For some consumers, their choice of a small ship experience is usually based on their personal preference for a more intimate setting with fewer passengers. I also appreciate the need that all of you have to better understand the benefits of small ships and to learn about the various distinctions that are offered by the cruise lines represented on our panel today. I'm actually one of you. You could say that travel is in my blood, as I was a second-generation travel agency owner and an advisor for 30 years before I took on the role of CEO at Ensemble. And my daughter is now a third-generation agency owner. I'm excited to take a deeper dive into the merits of small ships and for you to hear from the panelists about their respective cruise lines. Let's get started. We have 7 cruise lines represented today, and we will meet each one of them individually to better introduce you to their line and invite them to share some of the distinct aspects of their line. To be as diplomatic as we can be, we will go alphabetically according to the cruise line name. Let's hear about AMA Waterways from one of our travel advisors.
I'm Kathy Linsfire from CTA Travel in Cerritos, California. And I have been partnering with AMA Waterways since they very first started sailing the rivers of the world. My first cruise was on the Amalera christening in 2009. AMA Waterways has been a fabulous partner and has truly enhanced my career. As a river cruise specialist, I have sailed on AMA over 30 times, and all of my guests are repeat and continue to travel again and again. They're a family, they're amazing, and they provide the AMA love that they share with us and all of my guests. And my career has skyrocketed because of our partnership. Thank you, AMA, for everything you've done for us and the river cruise industry.
Let's say hello to Vice President of Sales, AMA Waterways, Alex Pinello. So I'm going to start this one out on a personal note, and that is I couldn't be more thrilled to be hosting our elite producers at Ensemble on the AMA Magna. I literally fly home to Toronto this evening, and I'm back on a plane to Hungary tomorrow afternoon, where we're meeting about 125 of our members and guests, thanks to the hosting by AMA. So,
absolutely. I have major FOMO. I wish I was going to be there with you guys.
We're going to dive right in. So, Alex, I'd love to ask you some of the new trends that you're seeing for AMA and for your guests, and also if there are any new destinations or things you'd like to share with everyone.
Absolutely. So definitely, but the first thing I want to do is I want to thank our travel partners, because without you, we wouldn't be here. 97% of our business at AMA comes from our valued travel partners. Thank you for that. So with trends, we are seeing people are looking for longer journeys. They're taking advantage of our combination cruises. With AMA Waterways, most of our itineraries can be combined. And when you book multiple itineraries, for every consecutive itinerary that you add, you get, or your clients will get a 10% savings. So we're seeing lots of that. People are extending their journeys. People are adding pre and post land extensions. Remember, when you do a pre or post land extension with AMA Waterways, your cruise manager is with you every step of the way. So they're not only with you on the cruise portion, they're also with you on the land. People are upgrading their air to business class. People are booking the ship from the top down. Usually, traditional, we would book, from the lowest category and move up. People have a lot of money to spend on vacation now. They're taking advantage of that, and they want to make up for every single missed opportunity during the pandemic, and they're booking larger accommodations, the suites, like I said, longer journeys, extended journeys, and we are so excited to see that and be able to provide the wonderful product and the wonderful experiences for them. The next question was as far as new destinations. So we are so excited with our new destinations. First of all, we just started a new destination September of 2021. We started sailing on the Nile. How many of you have been to Egypt? A few of you. We need to get more of you on Egypt. So the Nile, on a beautiful new ship, the Amadalia. She carries 72 guests. Our Egypt product is an 11-night program. So you have 3 nights in Cairo at the Four Seasons Residence Hotel. You have the 7-day cruise on the Amadalia round-trip Luxor. And then you have a 1-night post, again, at the Four Seasons in Cairo. And then, of course, we have some wonderful extensions in Abu Dhabi, in Jordan, in Israel, Jerusalem. Very, very popular. It has been so popular that we are already talking about adding a second ship to Egypt. Another new itinerary that we're, new itineraries that we're introducing for 2023. On the Danube, we're introducing 2 new itineraries. You asked, we listened, we took action. You were asking, you wanted to see a shorter cruise on AMA, because obviously most of our cruises, the shortest is 7 nights. So we're introducing our Majestic Capitals on the Danube, which is a 5-night itinerary sailing from Budapest to Vienna. And we're also introducing our celebration of classical music, again, on the Danube, sailing from Budapest to Vienna. And with those two itineraries, we're actually offering 2 new land extensions, a 3-night extension in Krakow, Poland, and then we also have a 2-night extension in Salzburg, Austria. Another thing that's very new, you've been hearing a lot of talks about world cruises, right? So we introduced our very own version of a world cruise. So we came out with our 7-river journey. The first one sold out before we even opened it up in the system. So we were able to add a second one, which was very successful, and now we've added a third. We have one in the spring, one in the summer, and one in the autumn. 46 nights, 14 countries on 7 rivers, and we keep talking about these big commission checks with commas. When you book a 7-river journey, that commission check not only has a comma, but we add an extra digit to that. What do you think about that? So very, very, very popular. And then, in addition to that, David, we are so excited to be introducing a whole new destination to river cruising. Not surprised at all, being that Rudy Schreiner is the godfather of river cruising. So in 2024, we are right now developing a brand new destination for us. It's going to be in Colombia, sailing the Magdalena River, cruising from Barranquilla to Medellin on 7-day cruises and the reverse. Right now, we are starting from scratch. We're actually dredging the river. We're adding the infrastructure to the pier facilities for it, and it's going to be an absolutely magnificent product for you to sell, again, on the Magdalena River, and the ship is going to be called the Ama Magdalena, again, starting in 2024.
So that's a lot of information. And some of the things I can take away from that is the diversity of your product offering. It's not a single size of ship, it's multiple ships, multiple destinations. I hear what you're saying as well in terms of some of the advice that you're giving, and in terms of people upgrading and moving to higher categories of sailing. Advice for all of you, and I'm sure you've heard this many times, and that is don't sell from your own pockets. Make sure that when you're conversing with your customers, you're leveraging your knowledge, but also their interest to get the right product in front of the right person.
Absolutely.
And I think with that, so that we keep on time, I'm going to say, Alex, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Absolutely. Safe travels. Enjoy the Ama Magna. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. This next one is a newer line that some of you may or may not be familiar with, but let's hear from Atlas Ocean Voyages from one of our travel advisors.
I'm Debbie Brown with SP Rolex Travel in Atlanta, Georgia. I started selling Atlas Ocean Voyages by booking group space in July 2020 when World Navigator was still a concept and under construction. In October of 2020, Kathy Kasuma assisted me in closing the group through a Zoom presentation. Although Atlas was a new cruise line and COVID travel restrictions were still in place, 15 clients deposited within 5 days. In August of 2021, all 16 of us experienced deluxe adventure cruising through Egypt and Greece, with several booking into my 2022 group space while on board. Working with Kathy and the Atlas team is a true measure of a successful partnership. I can't say enough about the support that Atlas provides to the travel advisor community.
Okay, let's learn a little more as we welcome Senior Vice President of Business Development, Atlas Ocean Voyages, Carlos Garzon. So, let's dive into this on a couple of different levels here. Let's start with what are the what are the biggest changes in the small ship cruise market right now?
I think some of the biggest changes is adapting, and I think goes for all ships. Having to adapt to the constant changes of making sure that our guests are taken care of with respect to COVID, certainly geopolitical situations in the world, constantly having to pivot. These last 18 months have been very difficult. I mean, we launched right smack at the peak of COVID, which we thought was the best thing in the world. I mean, it's like starting in an ice cream store in Antarctica. So we were a little bit struggling, but you learn to pivot quickly. And I think that's the biggest thing for all cruise lines, particularly the small ones, to be able to be flexible and pivot.
You know, I think the audience would love to know about selling small ships, and how is that different from selling the large ship experience? Are there any specific tools you've introduced to better educate advisors about the small ship experience?
Well, one of the biggest differentiators between the mid-size or even the larger ships compared to a smaller ship is the intimacy. Obviously, small ships is not for everyone, but it is intimate. Common areas, particularly staterooms, are much larger than the mid-size or even the mega ships. All of our rooms are all suites. I mean, we even have single suites. We recognize that our guests, certainly our demographics, require a little bit more attention. So we have now designated single suites on our ships, and all future ships will be designed to have specific single suites. So there is no single supplement.
Very cool. Yeah. If let's dig personally here for just a sec. If you were not in your current role with Atlas, what would your shipboard role be?
My shipboard role would be probably captain, because they have the biggest room. They also have some of the best meals. And then I would make sure that I'd be able to pull off and tell somebody else to take the night watch. So that's
good to know. Good to know, Carlos. Good to know. What is the newest service or amenity that you have introduced that advisors may not yet know about?
One of the things that we introduced in Atlas, was certainly one of the first to do this, was the emergency evacuation insurance. Simply because of all the conditions that other countries were putting on our guests with respect to COVID and getting them home. I mean, I think we all agree, we understand COVID is a reality and it will probably be something that we'll live with forever. But getting COVID in another country is a little bit scary. Regardless of whether it's a first world, second world, third world, it's not home. So one of the things we introduced was a medical evacuation insurance. But we also recognize that times are also changing. Geopolitical situations in the world where we may have to pivot at a moment's notice. So we are about to announce that we will be including travel insurance within the price. Nothing will change. The prices won't go up. It's just something that should be done and included for our guests so they have a complete peace of mind when they get on board that we will get you home, we will protect the cruise, and your investment will be protected as well. It's important.
Absolutely. How would you explain, I mean, you've touched on at least one here, but how would you explain the core difference or differences between yourself and your competitors?
Well, one of the things is we are one of the smallest. But what it helps is also the design of our ships. Atlas is part of Mystic Invest, which handles and builds many of the world's riverboat boats. Many of my counterparts here have their ships built by Mystic and leased out. The point is that our ship is able to use jet propulsion. So it shuts off its propellers and uses jet propulsion. And because it doesn't have a large draft, it's able to go into marinas as opposed to having to dock. So if you take a look at our itineraries, there's some places that you may need a Google Translate to pronounce because you've never heard of them in an itinerary. For example, we have this tour that will be going around Sicily. I had no idea there were 5 ports in Sicily. But when you have a small ship and you can go into these marinas, yeah, there's a lot of other adventurous places you can go with our ships. So that's our differentiator, the way we're designed.
That's exciting. I mean, not to have to be in the same old. Not that some of the same old aren't great destinations themselves, but it's expanding the market for customers and attracting a different market.
And that's what we're going after. I mean, we're going after the adventure. I've been to Sicily, but I haven't been there. I've been to Italy, but I haven't been there. I didn't know a ship could go there. Well, a ship can't. we can.
Right.
So that's what makes it so exciting. So please take a look at our itineraries, and I can assure you there'll be ports of call that you don't recognize. I don't recognize them.
What would you say, last question, what would you say your outlook is for the coming months and year?
Well, I think right now, and some of you may be feeling this as well, there's a lot of uncertainty, particularly as it pertains to Europe. Europe is very generalized, the term Europe. So when we hear what's going on in the Ukraine and everything, a lot of our guests are frightened. But Americans, by nature, that's my opinion, we forget very quickly. So it'll be just a matter of time before all this becomes numb, sadly, and traveling will resume as per usual. And now with the CDC having dropped all COVID restrictions, I mean, that's the first step, and I think that's exciting. I think it's exciting for all of us that those restrictions are now dropped, and they're recognizing that, cruising is safe.
Look, we all know the industry has been unfairly scapegoated, the cruise industry in particular. I think back to Diamond Princess and CNN every night for a month or more, and we became scapegoated as not only the cause of the pandemic, but the source of spread of the pandemic. So unfair, and I'm just thrilled that we're heading out of this and not heading back into it. And Atlas, you're doing a great job. And
what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Absolutely. Carlos, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now let's hear about one that you may be a little more familiar with, and that would be Avalon from one of our travel advisors.
Hi, I'm Joy Crutchfield at The Joy of Travel. I've been asked to speak to you for just a few seconds about my favorite partnership in the travel industry. That's my partnership with Avalon Waterways. I began doing business with Avalon back in 2010, right when that Icelandic volcano went off. The way Avalon handled that situation, I knew this was the river cruise company I wanted to be partnered with. In fact, our agency has progressed so well, we are about to embark on our very first fully chartered river cruise adventure, April the 1st, 2022. If you're looking for fantastic support and an amazing product, look no further, Avalon Waterways.
Let's meet the Business Development Manager for Avalon Waterways, Denise Frand.
If I had $1 million, well, I'd buy you a K car, a nice reliant automobile.
Because you love
and if I had $1 million.
Right.
Yes, I told him I saw the Bare Naked Ladies about 6 times, so I love the Bare Naked Ladies.
Great Canadian band.
Yes.
Sorry, can I say that?
Yes,
I can say that.
Yes.
Hey, what are the biggest changes in the small ship cruise market right now, with respect to Avalon and your thoughts?
Yeah, one thing that we're seeing, which is a big opportunity for all of you, and just to be honest, up until December, we were seeing record numbers, and it slowed down a little bit. Mm-hmm. So usually at this time of the year, we are sold out. So there's availability. So this commission with a comma, with river cruising, you still have time to get some last minute bookings in there. We also have a new ship, and I would say most small ship companies, river cruise companies, we all have new ships coming out with more inventory. So this is a huge opportunity to sell. And a game changer is when they drop this testing to come home, right. It will be a game changer. So definitely don't think we're sold out. We also have availability for 2023, and 2024 is coming out soon.
It's easier for a lot of us, I'm sure, to think that, oh, great, they're adding more ships, more capacity, more challenge. It's more of a challenge for the creator of these ships than it is for us. It means there's a great supply of alternatives for consumers, and really the cruise market is not yet tapped in the world. It is still a growing, blossoming opportunity for all of you, for all of us. And something we really need to embrace.
Yeah, I work with a lot of advisors, and they're like, "Is it too late to book a group?" And I go, "No, we still have availability." So whether that's a good answer or a bad answer, but it's great for you guys because you can still book this year, and once that is lifted, it will be
Yeah.
Crazy.
All bets are off. What
Yes.
do you want this audience to know about selling small ships, and how is that different from selling the larger cruise experience? And are there any specific tools you've introduced to better educate advisors about the small ship experience?
Yes, definitely. Our average passenger on board, average number of passengers, 150 passengers. So right there, big difference. With our Active and Discovery cruises, we are going to different ports, so new ports. And we're not having all of these people there. You know, on these Active and Discovery, we're going to different places, like let's say the Danube. We're going to different towns that aren't on our regular Danube cruises. So these Active and Discovery cruises are going to areas where it's just us that's there, so we don't overwhelm these communities. So the crew, the passenger crew ratio, a lot lower also. And you're right there by land. So if you do need to get to land, you're right there, which is nice.
That's convenient.
It is very convenient. It is very convenient.
So Denise, if you weren't in your current role, what would your shipboard role be?
You know, I was thinking about this. At first, I was a cruise director. I'm thinking, yeah. But then I'm thinking, you know, all of our ships now have these Active and Discovery. We have these hosts on board that do the yoga classes. It's our adventure host. He does the yoga classes. He does the early morning walks. Well, when COVID started, I bought a new bike, started doing more yoga, and I'm thinking, you know what? That's what I'll do. Okay. I just need to get in better shape because he does the early morning runs, and I don't know about that, but that would be my role.
Well, you'd have a modified agenda. You'd still be doing it, just not
We'll
7
do a
o'clock in the morning.
walk run.
How would you explain the core difference or differences between yourself and your competitors?
Yes, and you know, I forgot about the tool. So the one tool,
yes,
too.
Education.
Yes, we have a FAM rate. It's called a Sweet Rewards FAM rate. And all you need are 2 passengers booked on any of our brands. And that is from 2019 to now. And it's $849 per person, 7-night Europe cruise for you and a companion. On our portal, too, we have our Avalon Waterway Specialist course, and it's easy breezy. It's like a half hour. So we have 2 courses on there, you know, for land, river, and get to know that. And yeah, if you qualify with 2 passengers, definitely get on river. If you haven't been on any of us for river cruising, it is a great way to experience it.
And it's interesting that the demographic is changing a little bit as well, isn't it? Some of the formerly thought to be an older demographic for a river is now becoming, there are younger numbers starting to show, correct?
Well, and especially with these Active and Discovery cruises, we're seeing, you know, multi-gen. When I was on board in 2019, we had a couple with their 2 teenage daughters, and they said it was their best vacation. They did all of these active excursions. So definitely perfect for multi-gen. Somebody just texted me this morning and she said, I have a honeymoon couple and they want to go on a river cruise. So we are definitely seeing younger people on board, which is nice.
Fantastic. Last question. What is the newest service or amenity that you have introduced that advisors may not yet know of?
Yes, so fun one and not so fun one. Fun one, we have the Sky Grill. That's up on our top deck. So just imagine you're in Vienna, weather's beautiful, and we have a little cookout out up on the top deck, a guitar player. So we have that 3 times during the week. And then also maybe not so fun amenity, but we pay for testing before you go home. And like he was mentioning, you're covered. Right. You know, you are covered. We put you in a hotel, you know, everything. You don't need to worry about anything, but we do that on board before you go home.
Fantastic. Thank you, Denise. Let's hear for Denise Fain from Avalon Waterways.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's hear about Ponant, from one of our travel advisors.
Hey everybody, it's Kate Caruso with True Places Travels based in Vancouver, Washington, the other Vancouver. I just want to take a quick minute to send a shout out to everybody at Ponant Cruises. What an incredible organization. I started working with them in 2019, and what a breath of fresh air. The most professional team of people I've had the pleasure to do business with. They will help you grow your business. They understand how to support travel advisors, and most of all, they deliver the most incredible experiences for my clients. So thank you to everybody at Ponant Cruises. Keep up the great work.
Please join me in welcoming Vice President of Sales, North America, Ponant Yacht Cruises and Tours, Teresa Gata. This is keeping in the theme with Donna Summer last night, right?
It is, and I have to say to everybody in this audience, have truer words ever been spoken?
Yeah.
We all work hard for our money, don't we? Especially the last couple of years, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an unfortunate fact, but again, we're heading
here.
in the right direction, right?
It's all
We're
good.
here,
It's
exactly.
turning around, it's great.
I've heard Ponant launched a brand new hybrid electric luxury extreme exploration vessel. What makes this ship so special?
Well, not just the really long explanation of what the ship is, but Le Commandant Charcot is our newest vessel that joined our fleet in July of last year. And what makes it special is it was designed with it's a P2, P as in Paul 2, Polar Class 2 ship, so it's extremely strong. It was designed to reach the farthest north and farthest south poles. So in July of last year, our team actually went to the geographic North Pole. It has a navigation system on board that actually is done by satellite. So the satellites guide the ship through cracks in the ice. But if need be, it could crack ice too, but it doesn't need to do that because of its navigation system. It also has a bridge on the bow and on the stern. So instead of having to turn the ship around if it has to change routes, it can just, everyone can just move from one bridge to the other and away they go. But the excitement is that this ship is extremely quiet. It's hybrid electric and liquid natural gas. So it's extremely quiet. When they were in the North Pole, because the ship is so quiet, the polar bears were actually almost coming up to the ship. They were like, what is that? And, but on top of all this amazing hardware and technology, the ship is absolutely beautiful. The Commandant Charcot is a 5-star experience with amazing food on board and an Alain Ducasse restaurant, among many other things. And it's all about the experience. The itineraries that we have lined up, not just on Charcot, but on our other ships, are incredible. And they're definitely bucket list trips. And commission, definitely 4- and 5-digit commissions, for sure.
The only other ship that I know that can be, navigated both frontwards and backwards is a canoe. So just for clarity, we're not talking about
Definitely not a canoe.
Just making sure. Just all these fancy words, sometimes I get lost. So you mentioned the North Pole and its maiden voyage last summer, but I understand it set a new world record in the Antarctic by reaching the closest geographic latitude to the South Pole.
That is absolutely correct. And that one took us by surprise. It's all dependent, going on an expedition is all dependent on Mother Nature. And Mother Nature dictates whether you can do something or not, where you can go. But if you want to see emperor penguins or king penguins in huge quantities of hundreds of thousands, Charcot will get you there. And our team reached the furthest part south, and that was another celebration, another Ponant first. So we were extremely proud of that as well. And our company was founded by sailors. So sustainability for us is not something new. It's not something that we're just jumping on the bandwagon. It's what we've done from day one. We've always protected the places that we know best. And we, of course, we're doing all the other things like, the single-use plastics are going to be ending this year on board, and on Charcot there are none. But in addition to that, it's the people, the places that we visit, and respecting the environment all the way around.
For those of you who've not seen penguins in their native habitat, it is something special.
Very special.
Truly. What's the outlook for the coming months or year?
Gosh, there's so much going on. We launched a program with the Smithsonian Institution called the Smithsonian Journeys Program. And these are curated journeys. This year we have 14 more sailings that will be taking place, where we'll have guest lecturers on board from the Smithsonian Institution. And next year, we'll have 23 more Smithsonian Journeys itineraries available to sell. So that's new. Seychelles are back up for sale, and among many other destinations. And we're seeing a lot of Mediterranean bookings coming in, which is really fantastic.
What do you want this audience to know about selling small ships and how it's different from selling the larger ship experience? And also, are there any specific tools that you've introduced to better educate advisors and the small ship experience?
Sure. So I think the great thing about small ships are, there's a lot of great things, but one, it's a very intimate experience. And when I say that, it's about going from your stateroom to a public area within a minute and a half, actually walking and getting there like that, and being in the heart of the action, whether it's being out on a deck viewing wildlife, viewing whales or penguins or polar bears or any beautiful scene, the Northern Lights, or actually just wanting to be a part of seeing a show or hearing a guest lecturer speak. That's the wonderful thing about being on a small ship. You feel like you're on your own private yacht sometimes. It's that special. And as far as tools are concerned, I would say the very best tool that we have are our sales directors. Yaneti Perez is in this audience somewhere, and she's one of the best that we have. But make sure that you reach out to your Ponant sales director. We have online tools as well, but they will help you. They'll actually have a call with you or go into your office or meet you somewhere with your clients and help you close a sale. Those things are so important. When you want to earn those big commissions, call on our people. They'll help you close that sale for sure.
Absolutely. Last question for you. If you weren't in your current role with Ponant, what would your shipboard role be?
I think I have two, if that's okay. So the first one would definitely be an expedition guide. I love getting on the Zodiacs and being close to nature, and having that front seat and being able to do that every day would be a dream. And of course, the second one would be the sommelier, because hey, someone has to taste the wine.
We've learned a lot about Teresa. Thank you, Teresa.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you, Ponant. Now let's hear about Seabourn from one of our travel advisors.
I'm Ralph Bias with Amazing Cruises in Miami Beach, Florida. I've been selling Seabourn since 2001, and this one brand enabled my business to rise to the top of the ultra-luxury cruise industry. I'll have to admit that when I first started selling Seabourn, I was a bit nervous, as this was a prestigious brand with an elite clientele. I wanted to make sure that I could rise to the occasion and serve my clients as best I could, and this I did. Seabourn, for me, quickly became more of a trusted partner rather than just another cruise line. We work hand in hand to ensure guests are completely satisfied from the time they book and throughout their entire cruise vacations. Amazing Cruises has become one of the most respected and recognized luxury cruise agencies in the country, and Seabourn is a big part of how we got there. Together, we create the very best cruise experiences for our clients, and I truly treasure this relationship.
Now let's welcome Vice President of Global Sales, Seabourn, Steve Smotrice.
I wanna be a billionaire so freaking bad. Hey. Buy all of things I never had.
You too.
I wanna be on the cover.
Great to be here.
You know, all the way from California, right?
All the way from California.
All the way from California. Steve, before we start, I think you guys were one of the first small lines to actually get back to business.
We did. We started sailing in July as soon as we kind of got a green light. We got 2 ships in the water right away, and it's really been, I mean, obviously it's been bumpy for all of us, but overall it's gone great. The response has been amazing for guests that have been on board, so yeah, it's been fantastic.
Figuring out all the logistics of places that people could go and get to and test, you know, or not test, whatever the case may be. Was always testing, of course, getting aboard. But congrats on you know, taking that leap of faith, and you know, I know it was rough going initially, but I had the opportunity to be on Seabourn.
Well, and you sailed in December,
just
right?
February. And it was
even more recent.
Unbelievable, as it always is. So what are some of the biggest changes in the small ship cruise market right now from your perspective?
Yeah, I don't know if there's big changes necessarily. You know, I think the industry as a whole, it's been great to see, you know, I think cruising always got a little bit of a bad rap because the protocols were already amazing. And now we've all elevated that to another level. And I think just inherently, small ships have an advantage now in this space because there's going to be a huge audience out there that are looking for more intimate. They don't want to be close to a lot of crowds just because of the environment we live in. So there's a built-in advantage that we have in the small ship space. And for us, we're the largest passenger space ratio in our segment. So I think that really is a huge advantage.
That's awesome. What do you want this audience to know about selling small ships, and how is that different from selling the larger cruise experience? And of course, are there any specific tools that you've introduced to better educate advisors around the small ship experience?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We really liken our experience to like a private all-inclusive resort. So if you're down in the Caribbean or the Mediterranean or Mexico, and you have that great experience, it's relaxed, and you can hang by the pool, you've got the ocean there, and everything's included. You don't have to pull out your pocketbook. And that's exactly what Seabourn delivers every single sailing, but we sail all over the world, so you got all these great advantages. Our training academy is fantastic. It's Seabourn Academy. It's on goseabourn.com. And it's not just Seabourn. It's also about, if you're making a transition into the luxury space, it's about how to sell luxury. Who are the guests that you're looking for, and how to tap into that market a little bit more. So we really made it so that it's how to sell Seabourn, but it's also really great education for luxury in general.
And so how about if you weren't in your current role? What would your shipboard role be, Steve?
Well, I'd probably say the captain, but our president, Josh Leibowitz, is probably arm wrestling me for that one. But we're really expanding our expedition experience, and so I'd probably be an expedition leader, because this is like, so our expedition experience, we've got 264 guests on board, and we have 26 members of a expedition team, and they're scientists and academics and naturalists, and they just all have this great passion for exploration, and I think that would be an amazing job to have.
I can't argue that. How would you explain the core difference or differences between yourself and your competitors?
Yeah, in the luxury segment, now we're kind of up there at the top there, there's a lot of great products. There's something for everybody, and that's cruising in general, right? There's something for everybody. I'd say the biggest difference that we have in our space is the service. Like we're the youngest luxury fleet. Again, I mentioned the passenger space ratio is the largest, but I think it's really the service level. Now, they're all, again, great service levels, but it's what kind of service are you looking for as a guest? So, on some it could be very, very formal. A perfect example is some have butlers. Now, that doesn't make sense for our experience, because our experience is very much more relaxed. But we've got a team of 2 that take care of you. We've got a suite host and a suite attendant, and they work in tandem. Now, they will be your concierge. If you want them to unpack for you, they'll do that. But it's much more of a relaxed environment. And it's the way the service, and you experienced it, the service, the way it connects with our guests. We've created this great culture on board over a number of years that's about making it like family. So when you sail, everybody knows your name on board, and they get to the team on board gets to know you, and not only do they try to anticipate what you're looking for, but they really want to get to know you. It feels genuine and authentic, and I think that really connects with people on a really deep level.
I think you're so right, and for anyone who has cruised in the last 6 months or a year, I think, and this is irrespective of what line it is, the people, the crew aboard all ships are genuinely so happy to be back to work. It's not just palpable; it's you can feel the emotion and their excitement.
I just came from Odyssey, and I was talking to a number of the crew members on board. And we've got 300 crew members on board, and from 44 different countries. And I was asking, is that difficult sometimes? Because there's all these different cultures. And they said, no, because the culture is about, it feels like family when you're on board. Everybody's supporting one another, and then that translates over to the guests as well. So it's really, to your point, they all are so happy to be back.
Incredible. And the last thing I'm going to say is we did some talking backstage, and one of the things I think that we can do as an industry is promote from a cruise perspective, is do a better job of promoting that cruising is truly the best opportunity for more experiential travel than many other types. I mean, I don't mean to slight an all-inclusive in an island in the Caribbean, but the best experiential you're going to get there might be a little pony ride on the beach. But if you're on a cruise, the experiential opportunities they're abundant.
When we have this community, we're all part of this community, and we have an opportunity here to change the narrative about cruising. It's the safest experience out there. Everybody's vaccinated, everybody's tested, and this is a great opportunity to get people who were reluctant to cruise in the past, get them in and try it, and especially on a small ship experience.
Steve Smoltry, Seabourn.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Great to see you. Now let's hear about Silversea from one of our travel advisors.
Hello, I'm Lisa Freeberg with Travel a la carte, coming to you from my office in Omaha, Nebraska. Silversea was the first luxury cruise line I ever sold 25 years ago. They are still relevant and a luxury leader today. On board, you'll find unparalleled service, accommodations, cuisine, entertainment, and of course, safety. Their fleet are some of the newest on the seas. And let's not forget about their expedition product. Wow. As pretty as Silversea is on the outside, their agent support is what impresses me most. From my BDM to inside sales, from group department to air department, I know Silversea puts me and my clients first. Silversea is an innovator and a leader in the luxury cruise industry today, and they will be tomorrow.
Let's hear from the Director of Business Development and Agency Sales for Silversea, Marcus Kenny. Marcus, how you doing? Have a seat, my friend.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I know you are. I know you are. Was it the first time you've been on stage?
No, I've been on stage, but I love the production. It feels very glamorous.
The organization of this event is top drawer, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes stuff here, the organization is incredible. Kind of like on, the ships. It's like that whole behind the scenes thing that we don't understand or see, but it's there all the time.
Yeah.
What are the biggest changes that you see in the small ship cruise market right now?
So we're continuing to expand our itinerary offering, and so the biggest difference for us is we offer over 900 destinations on all 7 continents with a fleet of 10 ships. In fact, today we have the inaugural voyage for our brand new Silver Dawn in Lisbon, so we're very excited, and we're continuing to put a special emphasis on making product enhancements. So for instance, with the launch of our Silver Moon in the fall in Greece, we introduced our SALT culinary concept, which is an acronym for Sea and Land Taste. It's a culinary immersion program. And on the Silver Dawn, we're introducing Otium Spa, which is a Roman-inspired spa concept where it's the pursuit of wellness while you're pursuing pleasure, so without sacrifice. So we're continuing to make innovations in not just our itinerary offering, but also the product experience.
There's the marketing stuff right there, right? That's really good. What would you say is the outlook for the coming months or year?
Uplifting. I think, in between, during the last 2 years, we've seen spikes in business, and then there has been a wave of interruption, and then we see another spike in business, which demonstrates there's a lot of pent-up demand. And so even with some of the challenges that we're still facing, we've had some record months. Plus, I've noticed and I've interacted with a lot of new travel advisors in the industry. So I feel very confident and optimistic about the future.
Excellent. There's no question. It's blossoming for sure. What would you like the audience to know about selling small ships, and how is that different from selling the large cruise experience?
The comma. Definitely the comma. So if I think what's great is every booking, whether it is a contemporary ship or a premium ship or a luxury ship, every booking takes a lot of time and a lot of resources. And so what you're getting with selling small ship and luxury, you're getting a greater return on your investments. So if you like a comma in your commission, I definitely encourage you to focus your resources on selling luxury. Can we get an applause for commas?
Absolutely. Okay, so if you weren't in your current role at Silversea, what would your shipboard role be?
So I would want to be one of the singers, but I don't think I would get hired. So I would probably just end up being a bartender because I can make a mean spicy margarita.
Ah. And you could probably hum along,
Sure, yeah.
tie the whole thing together, right?
Yeah. But I would love to be a singer.
How would you explain the core difference or differences between yourself and your competitors?
Again, it's the itinerary options. So we have 900 destinations. We're selling over 800 itineraries with 11 ships, our brand new Silver Nova included, which will be introduced in July of 2023. And this gives you unprecedented choice. So if you have someone who is looking for something extraordinary or out of the ordinary, I recommend you search our database, look at the itineraries. We have great search tools on the website and through our booking platform, My Silversea. That itinerary offering is the true difference for Silversea.
Awesome. What's the newest service or amenity that you've introduced? Maybe you've spoken to that already that advisors may or may not yet know about.
So again, it's the Odium concept. And just to speak to it a little more, we're enhancing, we're creating, an additional sleep experience. So historically, we've had a pillow menu where you go on board and there are 9 pillow options, which can create issues when you enjoy that and then you go to hotels and you ask for more pillows or a pillow menu. But even now we have like a pillow sampler. So your butler will come in and you'll be able to sample all of the different pillows. So we have the sleep experience, we have the bath experience, we're making enhancements to the spa experience, the balcony experience. So imagine yourself in Antarctica or the Arctic, and then you have a nice warm robe, and then your butler brings you a hot chocolate. So the Odium spa experience is our newest product offering.
Sounds like the worst side of a Silversea cruise is going to be going home.
Yes, I think it's called the post-cruise blues. Okay. And so the best solution or remedy for post-cruise blues is to book your next cruise. And so, I encourage everyone to know your sales team so that your sales team, that they're your best resource. And when you have your clients with the post-cruise blues, you work with them so you can follow up and present new options, and then they're ready for the next trip.
Awesome. Marcus, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Marcus.
Bye, everyone.
Silversea. Thank you. Now let's hear about Windstar Cruises from one of our travel advisors.
Hi. I'm Patty King with the Cruise and Travel Planner in St. Pete Beach, Florida, and the Next Gen Travel Group. I've been a travel advisor for 20 years. I began selling Windstar Cruises in 2017 when a couple approached me for a different experience. They were experienced cruisers, but were used to the large cruise ships. This time, they wanted a more relaxed adult experience for a milestone anniversary. Windstar Cruises exceeded their expectations, and they have since traveled several times with them. My husband and I have also traveled with Windstar and have come to love the casual, intimate experience. We enjoy the small ports and unique destinations that allow the client to immerse themselves in the culture. Windstar is definitely 180 degrees from ordinary.
Last but not least is Director of Field Sales, Windstar Cruises, Diana Rom. Take money and cruise. So, you've all heard the questions before. Maybe the audience would like to actually ask the question. Okay, all right, thank you. That's where things could have gone a completely different direction, right? And probably not in a good way. What are the biggest changes in the small ship cruise market right now from your perspective?
You know, there's a lot of changes in the small ship cruise industry. However, you know, I like to look at it from a travel advisor view. One of the things that we were able to do during the changes that we've recently happened, and I refuse to use the words, but during that time, we were able to refocus on our sales efforts towards our travel advisors. And, you know, we were always on the run. If you've ever tried to reach a sales manager who's on the road, sometimes it's very hard. So we were actually able to hire 2 people that are there to help develop new advisors and teach them how to sell luxury travel. So they're there at your disposal. So for those of you that are new to travel, you've got an asset on our team that's going to help you make those commissions with a comma. So.
Exactly. What's the outlook? What's your outlook for the coming months and year?
So our company has always had the goal that on April 1st, things would start going back to normal. And I'd say that our president, Chris Prelog, was probably pretty spot on with that, with the new CDC notices that we received this week. And day by day, we've moved from every single day, oh my goodness, what cruise are we going to have to cancel? What's happening in this part of the world? To now it's, oh my goodness, we're almost sold out on this sailing. Look at this, we don't have to run a special, and we're actually moving forward. Our 2022 third and fourth quarter are looking very strong. In 2023, because of our travel advisors, we are out of the park. So thank you all for that.
Awesome. What would you like this audience to know about selling small ships and how it's different than selling larger cruise experience? And are there any specific tools that you've introduced to better educate advisors about the small ship experience?
So I think that when people think about small ships, of course, small ships tend to be luxury. And I've met with many travel advisors that'll say, oh, I don't know how to sell luxury. I don't have any luxury clients. And it's really important to understand that luxury is something different to every single person out there. What's luxury to me is different than what's luxury to someone else. And all it is really selling it to the client. Don't sell out of your own pocketbook. I had to learn that myself. Sell out of passion. Learn something. Learn a destination. Learn about a product. Become an expert in something. And it'll be very, very easy for you to do that. In addition, we have a lot of tools available to you. We have training. We work very closely with, if you're with hosts, your agencies to do training. But we have a great sales team that are here to help you learn how to sell luxury.
It's a great point, and I think it also opens the opportunity as well to make the recommendation that if you don't do this already, you should consider using past guests, past customers, not hesitate to ask them to speak with another customer potentially. The best referral opportunities are always, the best information is always going to be from those who have actually experienced it. And certainly the team at WinStar is very capable of helping you along the way. But don't hesitate to use your past guests for that same assistance.
And my secret has always been, if you do have a sale, regardless of what line you're selling, always say, is there anyone else that will be traveling with you? Do you have any friends that might be interested? Because those simple words could come with a no, and so what? You wasted 30 seconds. Or they're going to say yes, and you've just doubled your commission.
Exactly. So if you weren't in your current role, what would your shipboard role be?
Easy, I'd be the captain. I'm pretty bossy. So, and then as the captain, I could try everything, so.
You didn't have to think long on that one, did you?
No.
That's
no, you can ask my husband. That's exactly, he knew that would be an answer I would give, so.
How would you explain the core difference or differences between yourself and your competitors?
You know, I think that there are a lot of core differences when you look at small ship cruising, but one of the things that makes WinStar very special, well, really the one that makes us separate, is we have 3 ships that have sails. So none of my competitors have sails, so there is something about being able to sail. But as far as the experience goes, we're relaxed. We are luxury, but we're relaxed. So you don't have to worry about how you're dressing. There are other cruise lines out there that tell you they're relaxed as well. They have a country club casual atmosphere. It's not always that way when you get on board, because even though the ship might be like that, the guests are not. Our guests are. We're lucky they wear pants to dinner.
It's kind of like airports these days. I think if you're not wearing jammy pants, you're the underdog.
Right.
It's like I don't get it, but maybe I'm a little older. How would you explain? Oh, I've already asked that question. What's the newest service or amenity that you have introduced and that advisors may not yet be aware of?
So, one, we have 3 newly renovated ships, so there's a lot of amenities on board those. But I think the one that really is beneficial, that applies to all of our ships, is we now offer as inclusive as you want pricing. So we have our cruise pricing, you can go with that, or we also have our all-in packaging. And our all-in pricing, and both of these are on the website, will include the Wi-Fi, the beverage package, and all the gratuities. The great thing about WindStar is you don't have to sell that to both people in a cabin. So if only one person drinks, you can sell them that package, and it's fully commissionable.
That's awesome.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Diana Ron.
Yes.
And thank you, WindStar Cruises. And
thank you. And thank you.
thank you so
very
much. So it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's called the end. And but I hope you all felt that there was some helpful advice, information there. We can't put a high enough emphasis on the return to you as advisors for selling these kinds of products. It's a product that your customers will not come back and have an issue about. They will come back simply to rave about it and hopefully book their next one. But I really want to thank each and every one of you. I know it's a commitment. We all know it's a commitment to be here, but we couldn't do this without you. This is what we do every day in terms of supporting you, whether it's the consortium that I work for or any of our competing consortium. They're all fantastic. And just really want to thank each and every one of you and congratulate each one of you to Cruise360 and CLIA in particular. Again, couldn't do it without them. So thank you to you all and everyone, and stay well.
Please welcome back to the stage, Charles Sylvia.
Well, thank you so much, David, and thank you to our esteemed panelists. Folks, before I continue, I've got some great news. The 2022 CLIA State of the Cruise Industry course has been launched today. So if you are a current 2022 CLIA individual agent member, you go to your My CLIA online portal and then open your My Training folder, and you'll see the course. It's a free course. You'll see it in there, and take it. It's got all the latest information. So we have come to the conclusion of our general sessions for this year's Cruise360, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. It has been wonderful to see all of you and for all of us to spend time together. On behalf of the CLIA North America Travel Trade Membership Team, I'd like to thank you for being part of Cruise360. It's where you belong, and it feels great for all of us to be together. We hope you have a fun and productive Friday afternoon. Be sure to enjoy the cruise line showcases and our enhanced virtual ship inspections. Stay safe and well, and I will see you right here back in Fort Lauderdale next year. Goodbye, everybody.
It's a beautiful